Okay, this is just a quick 6.2 overview of what we did on the notes. Of course, the completed notes and everything are on Schoology, but this is just a quick video to remind us of what we're going to need to know for the test. Know that we will be giving you pictures of different graphs, and then we expect you to know what the shape is. So, like, for example, this one right here is skewed, and I'll write the word skewed, and you have to say left. And then this one right here, because it goes right down, we'll say right. Now this one next, we will say it is uniformed. And then this one over here is symmetrical. So, for example, if I were to give you just this, and I were to give you the words up here, left, right, symmetrical, and uniformed, could you decide which ones are which? Could you tell me which ones are which? So pause the video real quick. Know that we've got our options of left, right, symmetrical, or uniform. So pause the video and then try to label which one is correct. Okay, hopefully you had this one as your left, and this one as your right, and this one was uniformed, and this one was symmetrical. And that's all you'll need to know on the test for that part, is how to label the shape. Next we go down, and this one is our outlier, so you just have to know if it has an outlier. And remember what an outlier is. It's that strange, weird amount that does not look like any of the other ones. It's far away. So we'll give you a picture of two of them, and then you'll have to say if it has an outlier or not. So does this one have an outlier? Does this one have an outlier? And you should be able to tell because this is what we went over earlier this week. So pause the video and tell me which one has one and which one does not. Hopefully you said this one does not have an outlier because it all looks like they're pretty much the same. But this one over here, yes, it does. It is that one. And that's all you'll need to know on the test. On the next one, all right. So this one is the center, and we'll have to be able to find out, do we use the mean or the median when it's symmetrical or if it's skewed left or right? How do we find it? And on the mean, when it's symmetrical like this, we always use the mean. So when it looks like this, and the mean is so easy, you don't even have to do any math. All you have to do is find the middle part, because it looks, and this is it. So the answer is 5. Now on the median, we have to do the old cross-out data. So if this one, if we were just going to do this one, for example, we take this one, cross it out, that number, cross it out, cross this number, cross this number. Oh, and then we have 2 left. We have 4 and 5. So remember, when we're doing a median, if we have 2 in the middle left, we have to add those together and then divide it by how many terms, which we had 2 terms. So the answer would be 4.5 would be our median. Let's see if you can do the right one on your own. Go ahead and push pause and see if you can figure out what the mean would be on that one. All right, let's see if you did this one right. So we went ahead. Look at that, we got the same one. So hopefully you were able to just repeat what we did on the left. You add the 4 plus 5, it equals 9. 9 divided by 2 equals 4.5, which is our median. So whenever it's skewed left or skewed right, or there's an outlier like way out here, or this one were to go straight and there would be another little one, that's when we'd actually have to use the median. So we would actually have to do the cross out terms, because then there would be a 10, there'd be an 11, there'd be a 12, and there'd be a 13. So we'd have to cross that out. And then we'd have to cross this out, cross this out, cross this out. And you know what? It would still probably be 5. All right. And then visually, this is easy peasy. All we're going to ask you on the test is which one is spread more or less. So if you could pause the video and guess which one is spread more or less. Okay, hopefully you were able to figure out which one is more or less. This one has so much room over here that it is not spread very much. So this one has less spread. And this one, there's really no room anywhere. So it's spread all the way over here, all the way over here, so it has more spread. And that's all I'm going to ask you on the test. So which one is less and which one is more? Now just remember how we find an actual range. Remember, we put all of our numbers in order. These are already in order. And then we find the biggest number, which is right here, and the smallest number. And then we take biggest number and we subtract it by the smallest number. So 52 minus 15, so that would be 42, 37 would be our, hopefully my math is right on that. That would be our range, 37. All right, and then it asks us, and it's not going to look like this on the test. On the test, it'll have a picture of the actual, so this one will be, let's say, it'll have a picture of a graph for you. And it's not going to say Socs, it's going to say, I'm going to ask you for the spread. And I'm going to ask you, I'm going to ask you for the shape. And I'm going to ask you if there's an outlier. And I'm going to ask you what the mean or median is. I'm sorry, my handwriting's horrible today. And then I'm going to ask you for the spread. But I'm also going to give you a bunch of options up here. So I'm going to say, for example, if I give you this one, I'm going to have like 1. Is the shape more? Or is the shape, I'm sorry, symmetrical? Is the shape skewed left? Is it skewed right? And then you are going to choose which word, and then you will write it the right answer right here. And then if there's an outlier, you'd write it right here. It's just say yes or no. And then for the mean or median, would we choose mean or median? You don't even actually have to find it. We would just say, oh yeah, this one. In fact, on the test, I'm probably going to write median or mean, and you just have to circle which one this one is. And since it's symmetrical, we get the mean. And then it's going to ask you if it's more spread or less spread. And there will be a line right here. And we're going to say that's more spread. So I'll put more or less. And you just have to circle which one it is. Okay? So it might be different. Let's say on this one over here, let's say it looks like that. I'm going to give you the same answer, spread, skewed right, left, symmetrical, and then you would write that it is skewed left. And all you have to do is write left because it goes down left. And is there an outlier? Yep, you're going to circle yes, there's an outlier right over here. And then would we use the mean or the median? Well, it's skewed, so we would circle median. And then would we say this is spread more or less? It's actually, we're going to say less. Even though there's an outlier, there's still a lot of room right here that has no data. So we'd actually say less. And that's what I'd be asking you on your test.